Hello boys and girls, welcome to the Math Club. In this video, we're going to talk about Mathematics, Year 9 Achievement Test, Tuesday, 12th of June, 2012. Question 46. A. Complete this table of values for y equals 2x squared minus 4. These are the tables, or this is the table of the values. Now, for each value of x, we find y. Now, some of them are answered for you. You're going to use the values of x, substitute them in the equation, and find the value of y. Now, let's do this together and then complete answering the questions related to that question. Now, here we have x equals negative 1. In x equals negative 1, we're going to take negative 1, put it instead of x in the equation, and then square it, and then multiply it by 2, and then minus 4. Now let me write one of the equations so we can do one of them here. So 2, we multiply it by the value of x. I'm going to put it in a bracket here so you'll know it. But before multiplying, I have to square it. So writing the value of x here in the bracket, and then you're going to square it. I'm going to write it here and make it small. And you're going to square it, it's okay. And then after you finish this, you're going to subtract 4 from it. So this is the idea of finding y. So it has to be y equals these values. Now y equals what? 2 multiplied by the number that you put in x. And then you have to square it first, and then multiply it by 2, and then subtract by 4. Now let's start with negative 1 here. If we put negative 1 here and we square it, it's going to be 1. You can use the calculator to answer this question. It's easy. Now, negative 1 squared is going to be 1. And then 1 multiplied by 2 is going to be, very good, 2. And then 2 minus 4 equals, very good, minus 2. Good job. Now, let's move on using 0 instead of x. We put 0 here. 0 squared equals what? Very good. 0 squared equals 0. And then 0 multiplied by 2 equals 0. Very good. And then minus 4, it's going to be minus 4. So we put minus 4 here. Good. Now, these are answered. Now, the last one is 3. So the value of x is 3. We put 3 here. 3 squared equals, very good, 9. 9 multiplied by 2 equals, good job, 18. 18 minus 4 equals, very good, 14. Now remember guys, we have to square first and then multiply by 2, and after that we subtract by 4. Now after finding these coordinates, we're going to answer question B. Question B, draw the graph of y equals 2x squared minus 4 on the grid below. Now this is the grid here. We're going to draw the graph here using, we're going to draw the graph using these coordinates. Yes, these coordinates. Now, let's do them together, okay? Let's put them here. Let's start with this one. This one is negative 2 and 4. We're going to find negative 2 and 4 and put a point instead of it, okay? Now, let's take a look at the graph. So, negative 2, negative 4. So negative 2 on the x, which is this one. This is the x-axis, remember guys. And this is the y-axis. On the x, we have negative 2. And then on the y, we have 4. So it has to be here. It's the point that they meet. Negative 2 and 4, they meet here. Now, this is the first one. The next one is what? Negative 1, negative 2. Let's check it out. Negative 1, negative 2. So it's going to be negative 1, negative 2. So it's here. Very good. We have to put a point, or x, on the point that they meet, or the coordinates meet. The third one is 0, negative 4. 0, negative 4. Let's take a look at the grid. So 0 means this part, and negative 4 on the y-axis is here. So we put a point here. Good job. Now, the next one is 1, negative 2. 1, negative 2. So let's take a look at 1, negative 2. We have 1 on the x-axis and -2 on the y-axis, so they meet here. And remember, guys, with coordinates, you have to start with the x first, and then the y. The next one is what? It's 2, 4. 2, 4. Now let's take a look. It's 2 here on the x and 4 on the y. So it's here. Good job. Now, the last point is what? It's 3, 14. 3, 14. So 3 on the x and 14 on the y. Let's take a look at that. 3 is here. It's the last line. Now we want to go up until we reach 14. So it's here. Very good. Now, after plotting the points, you have to match them. You have to match the points to make a curve. Now, to make that, let me help you with this. Let me change the color first. I want to change the color. Can't find it. I might use the same. Okay. I can do view. Still on the pencil. Okay. I couldn't find the color changing. Yeah. I can cut these. I can cut all of these. Yeah. So take your time. Okay. Now let's draw this together. Okay. We can use a curved line to draw this, or we can use a straight line. It's okay. Now, with a straight line, I'm going to put it here. Sorry. And then another line here. Another line here. It's better to make it curved. But for me here on the computer, it's not easy to make a curved line. But you can make it curved on the paper. Draw it with a pencil, it's going to be curved. Now, after finishing drawing this shape, we're going to continue to the next question. Now, in the next question, what do we have? Question C. After finishing drawing the shape, in question C here, use your graph to find a possible value of x where y equals 3. So he wants x when y equals 3. Now, how can you do this? You come back to the graph that you made. You find x, y equals 3, which is this point. So you find y equals 3, this point. It's on the y-axis. And then you make a line from this point here to this side. So it stopped here. And then this point is what? Yes. It takes you, wait, here on the x-axis. Same idea on the other side. You draw a line and find the value of x here. It takes you to this part of the x-axis. So it's going to be here. And this value of x is when y equals 3. So this is 3y, or y equals 3. I made the line until this line stopped me, and I went back to the x-axis. I found this value and this value. They are the same values, which are 1.8. Let's say it's 1.8 maybe. Yes. So maybe it's 1.8, between 1.5 and 2, basically. So we're going to say it's 1.8 on the positive side and on the negative side. So it's going to be on the positive side and the negative side. So we can say it's positive and negative 1.8. Now here, let's look at the question. Yes, okay. So to find the value, use your graph to find the possible value of x where y equals 3. So possible values for x when y equals 3, we have two of them, this and this. So it's 1.8 basically, positive or negative side. Okay. So you can write in the answer 1.8. It's going to be accepted as 1.8. So we write it here, 1.8 as an answer for the value, or the value accepted in question C. Now, of course, you must show your evidence that the value has been read for you. It means what? It means these lines that we did on the graph. It shows that you found the value using these lines that I did here. Don't just read it and put it as an answer. Remember, guys, showing your work is important because the ones who correct your paper will not know how did you get it. So you have to show your work every time you do something. Now here, it shows that I read 3y, or y equals 3, and went to find x, which is 1.8. I can put 1.8 positive or negative here. So I can say 1.8 because it's read positive or negative 1.8. I can say positive, negative 1.8. Yes, it's not a problem. Now, this is the way how you that you answer this question, or a question like this. You have to plot the points exactly because you're going to use them to find the value of and answer another question. Now, and this is how you answer a question like this. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.